with a sense of uh, persistent and lingering inflationary pressures. We'll see, but you're right today. There'll still be some bullish opportunities. How much and for how long? My general rule of thumb is 2 days. At this point, with 2 days, I'd be selling half. I'd be tightening stops to break even at least, maybe even into a trail stop. I'm not convinced. I mean, look, the buyers have more work to do. It can't be like, oh, they got 3 good days. 3 good days on what volume? Not good Monday, not good yesterday. We'll see what today ends up being. At this point, with what's happened, with the market's inability and buyers' inability to hold levels and come in to try to catch and spur a fall rally, right? Didn't have it. Didn't have what it needed. So here we are. Birthday next month. That's right. Another year older coming up. Not long. All right. My name is Trading for a While, Teaching for a While. That's my background. Here are the disclosures. Be careful. We're not advisors. This is for education. Of the examples being used in the presentation. Yada, 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 yada. Okay. There's Jerome Powell letting everybody know that we're number one. America, number one. I told him, I said, be more. And then we slow down, and then we about where it was, 1.25%. Dow's up 0.88, NASDAQ it's in the toilet, man. Still down 0.65. No matter what you want, right? That is for certain. The NASDAQ looks okay, though. That's good. Oil was looking, I don't know. It looked like oil was going to get a bounce. Now I'm not so sure, although we're about to hit some earnings across a number of oil/energy stocks. And so I certainly would want to make sure I let that play out. Did I say hi? Okay. If I did, I mean it twice. Okay. So, yes. Third buy. I really higher. They go a little higher. I'm not in let's make sure there's some pervasive volatility. Be prepared to, that's not great as post-pandemic gains fade. The last thing we want to see is spending up and wages down, which creates unsustainable debt patterns. Oh, could be a big one, right? That could be a big one. CPI, PPI, let's see those numbers drop. The rich prop up the economy. This could change that. Walmart is using AI to supercharge its holiday plan. Short. I read something by someone who's they're all like, yeah, everyone who talks about like it's going to take over the world are just stoking fears to try to limit competitive forces. Come on. What else? Zillow plunges after verdict on real estate broke. Realtors dollars for inflating commissions. Oh wow. Dollars for inflating commissions. Oh wow. They conspired to boost the commissions to pay agents. Wow. That's pretty big news, it seems, right? It's tough. Yeah. I think about my kids. I'm like, my son may be 2-3 years away. Hopefully kind of in the basement. The realtor cartel is finally getting taken down. There does seem better than expected at 100, less than 104. That's still. Are you still listening to Jer Bear? Was he saying anything good? I was done with it. ADP came back, positive number. Looks good. Job opening strong. Manufacturing dropped a little bit unexpectedly. Consumer spending on payrolls 170. That's fine. That's what we thought we were getting last month, and then it unexpectedly doubled. Unemployment rate still at 3.8. It's still one of the. I'm not going to say the savings grace because that makes it seem like it's the only thing, but labor is still strong. Would we like to see wage growth? Yes, of course we would. We'd like to see wage growth. We would like to see a couple of other things. But overall, I think that we're in a pretty good place economically. I think more likely to see this as a correction than anything else. I still think we can have some level of fall rally, but the buyers have to convince us. That's where we are. That's where it stands. So, stay where it is, but there's a concern here. Now, for me, my thought is if it goes this area here to see if on the pullback it can stabilize and turn, that would be. I don't see anything here that changes my opinion. I agree. I think we could see more upswing. I think that how big it goes is going to be important as to what there will be next. If the Fed believes there will not be a recession, how will it affect their position going forward? Well, they're going to be more dovish. I mean, you know, they're reluctant to hit it again with another quarter point. It was a little higher than this. Crash. I don't know. This is still uncertain what we're seeing in here. Hello, Robert. Very good to see you, sir. Let's keep going through. What else do we have? QQQ. What do we have with the Qs? Look at this. Stella's now thinking that the Qs, the Qs and consumer discretionary / staples, those have been the two areas. I'm very much disinclined right now towards industrials, financials, and communication services. There's still some potential in technology, consumer staples, consumer discretionary. This looks bullish up here. And then if it pulls back, this would be bullish. Doesn't even have to go that high. I need a couple more days to break a little bit of divergence. Yeah, I would agree. Not for like more than a couple of months, but it can carry. Now, if it has consumer with it, then as long as everything else stays pretty stable, we would then expect to join the fray. Okay, let's look at the Dow. I'll tell you. Well, actually, let's go small caps. Small caps are just in a bad place, right? Nobody's interested. And Stella says there's no sign of a change in front of us. So, yeah, be careful with that. The appetite for risk is not inclusive of small caps. It's not. So then I would say both SPY and QQQ. We got 3 out of 4 looking a little more bullish. It's finally catching up. Yeah, it just, you can see it. You can see it right here. You know, this thing needed to come and go, and it just came and went. And so we're out of the cycle. However, if this can break out and get into a higher high around this point, and then settle back in here. So am I like, oh, we're so bearish? No. What's my posture? Minus 0.5. It did drop. What's it going to be now? I think it's actually going to maybe stall or even come back up a little bit. So it's now in the context of this bull market that we're in, because we are in a bull market again, technically speaking. Yeah. All right. NVIDIA, that's one we like. AMD, look at AMD. Earnings, bam. We already liked it from Intel. Intel's already had good earnings. We're waiting for the pullback. Now what? Now AMD, breaking out of the consolidation. This is very helpful. This is very helpful to the chip sector and technology overall. Breakout on big volume, getting close to this. As it pulls back, could be all the way back to here. Interested, same thing with Intel. Look, we've still got Apple earnings coming up. There's a little bit of a it's tomorrow, but breaking the consolidation. It doesn't have the volume yet, but if it gets a little bit more and then comes back down, all right, we're ready to go. It's going to put us in a situation like this back here where you get window, 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 window. That's what we want. When is that going to come? When it breaks and holds. Now we're trying to get. Let's be ready. Let's be convinced. Let's get a quiz. Maybe we get there today. Maybe we get above average. That would help. That might bring this thing back just a little bit. Okay, this is going to be an easy one. I'm taking the tops of these bodies. It has to hold these highs. And I'm going to go this top, this halfway point right here. A, holding the highs. B, at or near the highs. C, C is Bob, A to the moon, he says. Mark is an A. LK is a B. He's going to settle with my partner, Stella. Stella, let's go see what's happening. 24, 57. Oh, yeah, Stella's. Anybody else? Any Bs? Okay, wants to ride alone for the solo gold. No C's today. John, I'm going to make John an honorary C just due to behavioral patterns. All right. Where is everybody today? What's our numbers look like? Attendees. Oh, it's pretty good. Where's everybody answering? What's going on today? Give me some more answers. Why is no one participating in the quiz? Do we need to change any trade today? That's a good question. What is your posture? Number two, what do you already have on? If you already have 3 trades on, and I'm like, I'm going to put this trade on QQQ, and you have 3 technology. I like to make things a little bit more contextual. We're going to go see if there's anything that looks tradable. For sure. In fact, let's just go do that now. No, we have one more thing below on the SPY, as well as a number of other stocks. Should you be buying bullet somewhat of a downtrend? The end of the second day is when I'm looking to take profit, not get in. I'm taking out. So for me, I think you're going to be hard pressed. Is this starting to set up bearish trades? Maybe so. Do you feel like this is up 1.75? It's slightly negative. Are you interested in bullish trades? Let me ask you this. What direction? If you thought, I hope Scott takes a trade, an earnings trade, like an iron condor or something, you mean? Those have been tough. There's been some this earnings season as well. Let's go through the watch list. Let's see what comes up. But let's start here first, the VIX. The VIX. The VIX failed to make a new high. And here, right, especially it actually started to roll over and failed to make a new high. It caused a hedge. This caused a hedge. So there was 2 different hedge points. This one did quite well. This one did pretty well. So the hedging did well if you hedged from the VIX. It's done now. We're not to a lower, we're lower than this one. We're almost down here to this level at 16. What would I be looking for now then? I'd be looking for this in formulating a more bullish upside. But let's go look for trades. I'm open to it. Apple breaking the consolidation, convincing us the buyers are back. Are we going to trade Apple before earnings? No, do? Yeah, you can actually see that the volatility's already come down. So If you're doing an earnings trade, what are you trading for? Well, you're either doing a call because you think it's going to go up, a put because you think it's going to go down, a straddle because you think it's going to turn condor, or a naked straddle, a short straddle or strangle, because you think it's going to stay between here and here. So you either think it's going to break above or below it, stay inside of it. Now, if you think it's going to break above it, this is going to hurt you when this volatility drops. If you buy out, but it tends to drop, that's going to hurt you if you buy the options. If you sell the options, it's going to help you. If you sell the options, you want to, okay, that's your trade. If you want to trade one, that's one that you can consider, right? Adobe looks good. I'm not interested yet. It's very sideways overall, right? However, from this comes up, comes back and gives a higher low, then I start thinking now we have what we need to break to new highs. Great. That's what I'm interested in right there. That's what I'm waiting for. Adobe is one that you could have taken here because it was theoretically at or slightly higher then. So if you have a trade on Adobe, you'd be thinking what? I'd be thinking it's gone 2 days from the entry. I'd probably sell at least half, and then I would tighten up a stop loss. In this bullishness, are you? Oh, hold on. That is Carmen. Sorry, I missed you earlier. Okay, let's keep going through. Okay, what else? It had some earnings. No, the earnings are today, aren't they? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. Earnings. Oh, no, it's today, after market. If you traded this off of this bounce, financial sector. But at this point, you're running into earnings. So I don't think that there's really. Okay. AIG, same thing, same earnings. AMD broke the consolidation line, making higher high. That is the first sign. Look at this thing. If you want to try to catch bottoms after it's already gone up for a few days, this is where you would be entering. Let me ask you if you want to there. Look at this, right? And then it drops worse, and then it drops worse, and it tries to fool you and drops worse. This is why we wait. It's done this. Trade right there. You catch that whole move. Then you catch another one. Not as much, but that's what we're looking for. When we see that, we're ready to go. Like Amazon. Do I feel like, oh, I missed it? No. I'm not convinced enough about continuation trades after earnings that I wanted to trade that. This is fine. It's made. They're big. They're strong. All I need is a pullback. Now, it also helps me to be more bullish up on earnings. I'm going to watch and see what happens. Copart. What's this? This is industrials. This is the best they have to offer, and it's looking more bearish than anything. If I'm bearish, I'd be thinking bearishly on if I was thinking about anything bearishly, it's going to be on what? Weakness. What's weak? Consumer discretionary. Industrials. Consumer discretionary, industrials, and financials. Outside of insurance. That's weakness, right? Comment came in, what about puts on AMD? What do you see here right now? Do you see volume getting bigger? We're at or near the close. This is strong. I don't buy weakness, and I don't sell strength. No, I don't want to buy puts on this. Could it drop from here? Sure, it could. Could it also just do something where you're like, oh, it's got to come back down, and it starts coming back down, and then bam, that's not bearish. That was strong. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's we're not just thinking, does it look like it might come down? And the prospect to the upside. The fact that it just came with this makes me think there's more upside prospects. I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to call something out because I think, oh yeah, maybe it's hit resistance, right? I want something that's going like this. What's the trend? Already down. What do I know about the buyers? They're weak. What do I know about these buyers? That's pretty strong. I don't want it. Okay, let's keep going. Let us keep going. CBE, DIA, the Dow looks all right, but I don't know. Maybe the defensiveness is ebbing. EA, communication service here, and then what? Then it fell apart. Now it's running into earnings, right? And now it's running into earnings. Fastenal broke above. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in. It doesn't hold any weight right now. Find strength if you're bullish. Find weakness if you're bearish. Leave it alone if you're neutral. Gold actually looks strong. I just have no interest in that. As of right now, I think that this looks weak. Even today, it's got work to do. Intel looks strong. Intel is breaking out and popping up here to new highs. Now what? Now I just need the pullback. Anywhere in here for the pullback. I would like that. Look at small caps. What do we know about small caps? They look terrible. Right? They look absolutely terrible. There's nothing there that we think to ourselves, I'm interested in trading. Right? Nothing there. Okay, what else? Tell me if you think there's a sector that I'm missing. There's something that I think that you think is missing from my analysis. I am 100% open. That's better. That's better. I think Meta looks stronger than Google. I mean, you depending on how you draw your line, you could maybe think of it. I don't know. I think I need a little more or some volume. However, it could easily sneaky reversal where it comes back down and doesn't. Maybe it finds some support through here. I would be okay with this. The higher low to me is the most important piece. Well, the question for Google is, what trade would you want it to be? Right? Do I want to be bullish on Google now when the most recent strength is sellers? Do I want to be bullish now? Well, right now, maybe not. Because, bearish now. No, because that's bullish. If it gets up to here and it starts to roll over, then yeah, that would be the most convincing trade. Otherwise, we're just guessing like, oh, we think Google's going to be good because people like Google. That's not what we're doing with our technical analysis. We have to see buyers. We can't just be like, it's Google. So what? What is it doing? What does it make you want to do based on what its price action is doing? Is there something that you see buyers doing that you're like, wow, look at this. Look at all these buyers. They're going to keep buying this thing. What buyers? I see low volume on updates. I see 2 updates since it dropped out of earnings. Is that buying pressure? Is that enough for us to be convinced the buyers have gained control? Buyers have gained control. These are the questions I want you answering, right? Don't trade something because it's a company you know. I like Google. I use their search engine. Great. That doesn't make them tradable. What makes it tradable? Price action that indicates to us buyers or sellers taking control with an expectation that that momentum is going to continue. Now we think that the price is going to move a certain way. Now we can try to trade that. That's what we're trying to trade. Price trying to move a certain way. If we don't have that in place, I don't want to trade for the sake of trading. Is this a market that is hard to overtrade or easy to overtrade? I'm going to say it's easy to overtrade this. Okay, if you just all of a sudden blink, you're like, oh, crap, I have too many trades on. Too many trades in the wrong place. Does that make sense? Let me know if anyone has questions about that. But that's it. The work that needs to be done typically is work by the buyers or by the sellers. So if you're like, hey, I'm more bullish on Google, great. Then the sellers better come in and create a support level or a resistance level. And then as the sellers start to move it off that resistance to the downside, you have a trade. That's your trade, right? If you're trading bullishly right now, you got to ask yourself, what are you trading? What does the lower low tell you about your appeal of buyers? It's a lower low. Does that make you think the buyers are, there has to be something that gives us our implications. That's what we're looking for. Okay, let's keep going. Meta's trying. I'll give it to them. Microsoft has done it. Microsoft, theoretically, could you have taken this trade here? Yes, absolutely. Was that a hard one coming out of earnings? I'd say it was, but that's valid. You'd still be in this thing riding it up. Can you trade it now? You can do anything you want. It's your money. Should you? That's maybe the question. If you got in today, you would put a stop loss probably below this low. So whatever that equals, you should ask yourself, can I expect two of those to the upside? Probably not. So in that regard, it's probably not going to be a great swing trade, right? So if you think that for me, a continuation trade, a bullish continuation trade in a market where the posture has diminished to this level, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to do that. I'll do continuation trades when I have a strong bullish market, but right now, I'm not going to get the reward to risk that I'm interested in right now, right? We don't have the underlying strength in the market for that. I don't think. If you do, take the trade. If you have a 2-to-1, take the trade. Nvidia, trying, not convinced yet. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Bob said, look at the home builders. KBH, boom, boom, boom. That's a breakout. That's us interested on the pullback. Toll on the pullback. PHM on the pullback. XHB. Take your pick. Take your pick. If you think that's enough for a continuation trade, then you need to find a level where your stop would be. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, what else? Okay. Sorry, I had to make a quick adjustment on one trade here. Okay. Where were we? We were at PDD. PDD, that looks close to me, right? That looks close to me. I would say that's the setup. What do I like about it? What's the trend? Buyers still making higher highs, higher lows. Here we are at support. Here we are just waiting for what? One more day will give us confirmation on something like that. Where is this located? Consumer, which is one of the sectors that I like. Nothing tradable, John, for us yet. Just looking around. This would have already given a signal, but now is showing earnings. PLTR. I would think about PLTR if it weren't for the earnings, but I'm going to wait and see if the earnings can break it out. My numbers dropped to a negative 0.5. First time in quite a long time that they went negative. So something to be concerned about, I'd think. Okay, QQQ. I think we have enough. So the yeah, I don't know. This QQQ. Yeah, I think this is what I said. This is what I said. The technology's showing enough strength. I'm convinced. I just need to wait for the right signals now. That's the only one for now. SPY, we'll see. Tesla, nothing really there yet. VIX still down. Energy up a little bit, but you're running into earnings. FDX, let's take a look. Not a big fan of industrials right now. Transportation sometimes can stand alone. Yeah, that's enough to convince me that something's happening, right? That's something there. I would if you're in it, great. If you're not, waiting for the pullback. Waiting for the pullback. Walmart. Walmart had a trade. This was one that I said I liked. You can see we broke out, pulled back there. That was a tough one, but if you missed it, you got it there. Still going. Yeah, looks pretty good. Earnings coming up. Where is it located? Consumer. This is consumer defensive. Should see about a couple others like Costco, Target. Consumer defensive. Anybody got something for me? Costco, kind of iffy, but that's a maybe. Target. Oh, Target. Target's trying to figure some things out. Let's look at some of our ETFs. Here's XLE. Nah, it doesn't look good. Right? Doesn't look good. XLF. Okay. You know, it's 3 days of buying on pretty average or less than average volume. I don't know. I'm not convinced overall. The downward pressure seems more than anything. Same thing here. New lower lows, lower highs. XLP staying a little bit more stable, as is XLU. You can see how those two defensive sectors are showing a little bit more of that. Yeah. Okay. We've got some time. No trades. I mean, nothing that really has the right looking setups. What am I missing? What stocks? What is the difference between consumer staples, consumer discretionary? So discretionary is going to be more your wants. Staples or is going to be more your needs. AMD we looked at. AMD, I mean, you're late, right? Yeah, like you would have, in order to catch this, you had to trade basically earnings. So, you know, if you had that, then certainly that would be available. But at this point, looking for a pullback, right? That's it. Looking for a pullback. Now let me pull up. Let me pull up one other thing. What was I looking for? Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. No, yeah, I like the way this looks. Posture. Yeah, that's the posture. The pullback. Yeah. No, I lost it. I was not quite sure what I was thinking about there, but here's the posture. So you can see that it's I'm at the bullish end now into the bearish part of neutral. There's definitely concerns. Oh, this is what I was going to pull up. Sorry, consumer versus consumer discretionary. Now I got it. Now I got it. Okay, here it is. Definitely waiting for the pullback. Definitely waiting for the pullback. Defensive. Beverages, household products. Yeah, you can kind of see food, packaged foods, cigarettes, obviously, right? Versus discretionary. So consumer discretionary, if I can find those, or cyclical, are things we need. We need we want cars. We want to buy products from Amazon. We want to fix our house. We want to eat out. We want to buy Nikes and clothes and travel and right things like that. So that's the easiest way is needs versus wants. In a bullish market, I would expect wants to do better. In a bearish market, I would expect needs to do better. And that's a little bit what we're seeing. Here is Staples holding their value. Tesla is in need. If they get the Cybertruck right, it's in need. Other than that, XLY is discretionary. Look where discretionary is. Discretionary is at lower lows, lower highs. It's weaker. So I'm more inclined to go towards Staples, but the fact that I see Amazon with a breakout on earnings, that's enough that I think it can be a leader. So that's it. Yeah, I hear they're going to be able to produce like 125,000. And they have pre-orders for like 1.5 million. So that math doesn't add up. We'll see what happens there. All right, well, let's go close this thing down. Let's finish with the VIX. Where are we going to end? Pretty near the lows. Confidence is coming back into the market. We're at 16. Never really got that bad, right? Now let's look here. Where are we? We never really I forgot to look at the numbers. I think the Bs maybe do have it. We did this around 120. No, 120. It was here. The A's have it. It was at this level here. No, it's the A's. A's win a gold medal. B's, you were close. I cheated, according to Bob. I went with Stella in that regard. So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. Maybe I do. I try to cheat. I cheat whenever I can. We'll see how Apple does. If we can get both Apple and Microsoft back in place, technology back in place, I think we have some good prospects ahead of us. So we'll see what happens. Optimism. Let's be optimistic. It's still easy to overtrade this market, so don't take unnecessary risk. Don't trade for the sake of trading. Trade because it makes sense. You were looking for it. It's right. It's harder to find that right now. So if you're finding a lot of it, reevaluate your original premise. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you Friday morning. As always, happy trading.